Preston 1, Wolves 3. It's weird to come away from an away game or any game, Wolves game, with a positive. I think everybody played well, and I think it's one of those games where it's a tough game. Preston away, they're just on the back of a defeat. Physical team, that there's a lot of long balls going to your box and all that and stuff. So it was a difficult game to kind of get through. Like, it's a proper welcome to the Championship game, really. But I think we dealt with it really well. We were physical as well. Deidre had a good game. Jackson had a good game, which I'm happy about, because he gets a lot of stick, off me included. So it's good to see him have a good game. Totti had a better game. It's good to have Hugo Bueno back. He didn't have his best game today, but he wasn't bad either. So, and then I think having Jose Sarr in goal as well, it kind of gives you a bit more. I don't know. I just think he's a bit more commanding than Bentley, and he'd give us a little bit more, like, I could see the defence trusted him a bit more than Bentley. Maybe that's because they're so used to him. Obviously, the last couple of seasons and that, like with Totti and that, like, but I don't know. I know he gives us a heart attack sometimes with the way he is, but I just think he's a more commanding goalkeeper, better shot stopper. Overall, just a better goalkeeper. It's the reason why he was our first choice the last couple of years, ahead of Bentley and ahead of Johnston. But yeah, good performance. Obviously, Fer Lopez is the standout. I think his quality is going to be really important this season. He's that Spanish flair, the way he is on the ball. He's always trying to make stuff happen. He's always trying to pass forwards if he can. He can turn on the ball, and he's quick. He's quite quick with that. Like, I think he took his first goal obviously really well, the little dummy, and then the finish. So he opens his body up and then comes back across. And then the second goal, I think, is a really, really difficult finish, because it's like it kind of bounces up a bit awkwardly. So he's going to be really important this season. I think Armstrong did really well when he come on. He was just positive, trying to pass forwards, making runs and stuff. So really good to see as well. Mane tried to make stuff happen. He was obviously, a couple of times he could have maybe released the ball a bit quicker and stuff, but that naivety sometimes at his age still. I forget how young he actually is. But he is trying to make stuff happen. He's trying to be positive, so I'm happy with that. And yeah, like I say, I think that Boubacar Traoré did well when he come on as well. He just, that energy and stuff. I think he could be, he might not start many games this season, but if we can hold on to him, I know there's been rumours of him leaving, but I think he'd be quite an important player to bring off the bench and stuff, with like his energy and that. And his quality on the ball, he's pretty good on the ball as well. So but it's nice to see the Championship allocations back, 5,500 Wolves fans going there, and yeah, just a really good performance. That first win, it's always important to get that first win, especially at, like I said, a difficult place to go, really. But yeah, we move on to, I know we've got Sheffield Wednesday in the week, but we've got an early kick-off against Stoke next week, so hopefully we can go back-to-back with league wins, start to really cement ourselves up there in the table. So yeah, weird to say Wolves won an away game and I'm happy on a Saturday, but here we are. So yeah, but loads of positives. And we move on to next week.
It's Preston 1, Wolves 3. Sam will be back on the channel again to get stuck into a game that we knew was the pressure on Wolves, especially after the results of last week against Blackburn. We knew we had to go into that game and win. Look at that background, by the way. Unfortunately, I'm not in Preston. I'm also not impressed in Wolverhampton either, as you can tell by the state of that. Lots changed in the team. Obviously, Stroud coming back into that starting 11, which it's been a long time since we've seen that obviously in a Wolves shirt. But he did some good moments. He wasn't pressed as much as I thought he was going to. I don't know, the way Peixoto's got him set up at the moment, the pressure that he's a big thing, and that he wasn't really sort of going with that, but I'm not sure if that's what he was told not to do or not. Deidre and Totti at centre-back, the first time that we've seen that as well. I was a bit worried going in, I think a lot of Wolves fans were. But in fairness, in terms of headers and stuff, they won their individual battles. A couple of bits out wide, that wasn't necessary to do with them. Totti's always going to give you the physical side of it, isn't he? He's always going to give you the headers, and Totti and Deidre looked comfortable as well. Deidre's definitely on the ball, but definitely better on the ball than Totti is. But that's not that hard to do, really. It's just too slow at the back. We know that. We've been saying, loads of Wolves fans saying that now. It's just too slow at the back from them pairs. It's just a bit boring saying it, and we don't know what the change. If Krejci stays, he's going to be some calls for Santi Breno if he's available. Should he be playing? But there's definitely worried about us getting done the pace. Saying that though, Jackson Stewart right back, I thought was really good today. There was again a lot of people worried about him going into this game, thinking is Stewart going to be good enough? Is he going to be switched on? I thought he was fine, and even going forwards, he made a couple of decent passes. He played a good ball across to Jimenez in the first half that he should have done better with. Jimenez, that back heel flick that he could have scored with. So I've got no questions. I've got no real worries really about Jackson moving forward, because some of the situations he got into where they played the ball down the line, Kieran Trippier would not have gotten the end of that. There's no chance. He's hasn't got the legs to get there. Joe Sarr coming back in start as well. I think we looked better for Sarr playing, if I'm honest. He's a better goalkeeper than Dan Bentley. And I'm not surprised by that, to be honest. He just looked more comfortable than when he was playing. Came and claimed a few corners quite well. Just a bit calmer. Like, he didn't have that much to do really, Sarr, but he probably should have been better for the goal. He got his hand to it. It seemed like he was, I don't know whether he'd always switched off or not, but I think he probably should have been better for the goal. Fer Lopez, as he's getting loads of mentions on social media and all sorts today, he was a cut above, wasn't he? He was absolutely unbelievable today. He's got to stay fit. If he stays fit, he will be Championship Player of the Season, like, out of everyone. He's just so good. His goals, what I like about his goals is he doesn't even hit him that hard. He just places him, side foots him, picks the corners, picks the passes. He's just class. He's so good. He's by far better player now than he was when we saw him a year ago, 18 months ago. So you've got to keep him after his transfer window closes. We've got to make sure we keep him. I thought Mane struggled on the other side a little bit, to be fair to him. He had a lot of work to do on there. He got us into the final third, carried us forward, but then he didn't seem to get much end product out of it, and he got a bit frustrated, I think. And I think I said this the other week on here, where it's like, whatever we're gaining from Lopez, we're losing from Mane, because we're playing Lopez. He's thriving through the middle, where I think Mane would do, but because Mane can't play, because Lopez can't play out wide right, or so out wide, he hasn't got the pace to do it. Mane can. That's why he's getting shoehorned out there. I think he's affecting his game. I do think that is something that maybe we've got to look at. Armstrong off the bench, unbelievable. Absolutely, that quality for that goal was like 1-2 finish, 1-2 bam bang, plain feet. It was the fact that Raul Jimenez waited for the pass. He got the ball in, one touch, bang. He delayed his pass and then played him in perfectly. Absolutely perfectly played that pass in. And like, that's the quality of almost like two Premier League players. And it was Armstrong, one touch out of his feet just to get away from the goalkeeper, left foot finish, and he's going to score loads of goals. Armstrong's going to score loads of goals for this season, and that's what we want. That's what we need from him. Really quick trying to brush to this. Midfielders looked a little bit better. I actually think we looked better in midfield when the subs came on, when Tommy Doyle came on, Boubacar Traoré and Jordan James came on. They looked far more fluid in midfield. There's a lot more better footballers on the pitch, I think, really. Because again, Menezzi, some of the passes, he couldn't make a 5-yard pass at points at times, but he could have scored again. That's Menezzi in a nutshell. And in fairness, Menezzi did some good defensive contributions. He won the ball back a couple of times, won a couple of headers, but I thought in possession we looked far more fluid the last 20 minutes of the game. Obviously, we're still working. I thought we actually shouted here, Boubacar Traoré. I haven't seen him for ages, and I thought he looked pretty good. I wouldn't sell him. I would not sell Boubacar Traoré. I'd keep him for the rest of the season. He's an option to finish off games, get him seen out games, like that. He's perfect for that sort of role. So I'd definitely keep him. And then, final point on that, really, we're still a work in progress. It's going to take time. We've got a long way to go this season. I think as long as we keep sort of developing, we've got to be patient with some players. We've got to be patient with players like Mane. I think we could have had 4 or 5 today, if not 6, realistically. We could have been 3 up at half time. So it's like, can we sort out the back line a little bit? Can we get more solid? Midfield's got to get the balance right, which I'm hoping Jordan James brings to that. And then we'll see where we go from there. But games come thick and fast now. We're on to Tuesday. It's Sheffield Wednesday in the League Cup. There's going to be rotation. And I'll catch you next one. Cheers.
So it's finished. Preston 1, Wolverhampton Wanderers 3. And I must say, looking at the lineup, I was excited, I must admit, but I was a bit apprehensive about the centre-backs, Giga and Totti. I wasn't too sure about how they would be, but I was very, not impressed, that's the wrong word, but I was satisfied with how they did. We offered them very little going forward. I don't know if that was the lack of quality from them, but I thought going forward, geez, Fer Lopez, my lord, we need to keep this guy. He is the number 10 that we were looking for last year. I know, like, you could argue, is he left, is he right? But he can play anywhere. I think he's that good. Yeah, he played really, really well. Obviously, Jimenez is growing into it. It's a new league for him as well. It's different. The Premier League defenders, obviously, much more quality. But this is a completely different league. And he'll have to put up with the push, come to shove, as it were. But yeah, a really good win. Menezzi started well, aged off a bit in the second half, but I think that's where Jordan James will eventually start. Sheffield Wednesday next. You give some minutes to some of these players. I'd start Jordan James. I'd start Wolf as well. The goalie situation is very interesting. Is Johnson going to start? If not, throw one of the kids in. I mean, you rest some players. Armstrong will play for me. But yeah, onwards and upwards, and a win away as a Wolves fan. Come on.
So guys, a quick stoppage in play to talk about our channel partners at Oxford Natural. They've helped people such as Robbie from AFTV and Ballon d'Or winner Michael Owen, as well as Anita and Linda, create some amazing transformations. Now I want to talk about their Optimum Day and Night supplements. Now let's be clear, no supplement does all the hard work for you, and healthier lifestyle comes from healthier choices. But what's so different about Optimum Day and Night? Well, this is the biggest difference. Most supplements only contain one ingredient, whereas Optimum Day combines 7 carefully selected ingredients into one formula. Whereas Optimum Night also gives you another 6 carefully selected active ingredients. Now in your Optimum Day, you've got citicoline to support focus and mental clarity, lion's mane to support cognitive health, natural caffeine and guarana to help support energy and alertness, green tea extract to support metabolism, berberine to support healthy blood sugar and metabolic health, and L-carnitine to support fat metabolism and energy protection. And when your day is over, Optimum Night will give you magnesium to support restful sleep, ashwagandha to help your body deal with everyday stress, L-theanine and amphegenin to promote calm and relaxation, lavender extract to support sleep quality, and berberine to support healthy metabolic function overnight. So during the day you've got 7 active ingredients, and at night another 6 active ingredients, working together as one 24-hour day and night system. So if you have been thinking, it's time I started to look after myself a little bit better, why not take a look? Scan the QR code, click the link in the description, and use code TW70, TW70 to get 70% off your first order. Take a look, see what Optimum Day and Night is all about, and if you think it's for you, why not give it a try? Right, back to the video.
And it finishes Preston 1, Wolves 3. What a result. First win of the season in the Championship. Really solid, and, you know, 3 points more than deserved, as well as, really, probably a few more goals that should have been in it coming from us. We should have been maybe 5 or 6, really, if we'd have been that little bit more clinical, but you get no complaints from me. I think we were absolutely outstanding today. I think one man in particular was absolutely unreal, and obviously everyone's already said it before me, and if there's anyone after me in this video, they're going to have said it as well. Fer Lopez has just been unreal. The whole of pre-season, you know, that Carabao Cup game against Port Vale, he just looks technically so much better than anyone in the Championship, anyone in this Wolves team at the moment. It's just all there, and you watch him and you can tell he is leaps and bounds above what we've had in the past and what we've got right now. His goal scoring, he's very clinical. That first goal, amazing dummy, you know, taking the ball right up there, no one closing him down, so him just giving himself that time, you know, those extra touches, slotting it in the near post, absolutely stunning, brilliant goal, really well played from him. The second goal coming from Adam Armstrong as well, brilliant stuff, you know, great pass from Raul Jimenez, just slotting it in nicely for him. And I think that's what Armstrong's pretty much known for, especially in the Championship, you know, that one touch in, and then finishing it. It's absolutely outstanding. Couldn't ask for any more from either of the two of them lot. Armstrong looks really solid in the Championship. His ability to be, you know, really clinical really quickly, it just seems to work. And I know it's the Championship, and I know obviously he struggled in the Premier League, but for where we are right now, can't complain about him at all. Jimenez starting was really nice. He just looked, you know, he had that vision, that intellect of a Premier League footballer. It was just, you know, some of the stitching up he was doing with his passing. It was just, you know, he had a real eye for it. You know, he stitched things together really well. It was really nice to see him sort of, you know, I know he didn't get that goal in the end, and he had that one chance, didn't he, with that little flick. It was Chachua that played him in. You know, he could have flicked it in just at the near post, just didn't get quite enough on it to get it in the direction he wanted it to go, and it ran a little bit wide. But we had a few chances like that, unfortunately. You know, Mane had a pretty good opportunity. Rodrigo Gomez putting a nice ball into him, and him just a little bit soft and a little bit into the middle. Not too much of a test for their goalkeeper. Tommy Doyle as well had a big opportunity late in the game on his left foot. so not ideal, and he just got that slightly over the far corner of the goal. But in terms of chance creation, absolutely unbelievable. Created so many chances that we could afford to be that wasteful because we still put 3 in. You know what I mean? Armstrong, clinical, Fer Lopez is third as well. I'm not sure how much Tommy Doyle knew about getting that assist. To me, it looked like it was just a bit of a mucked up touch, but it's gone in the perfect direction of Fer Lopez and he's slotted it in nicely again. This is another thing I really like about Fer Lopez at the moment. He just seems clinical. He just seems to take these opportunities and put them in the right position. 2 goals at the near post. Really good stuff. Really happy to watch him. And again, just creatively, technically, clinically, he just seems to be all there already. And, he's still a young lad. It's clear to see, why he was took with the Spanish national team to train with and stuff like that. There's a real player there, and I have no doubt that he will go on to be a real player. With that in mind, I was a little bit gutted about our other young star boy, Matheus Mane. I think he did have a little bit of a difficult game today. I think obviously it's tough, he's starting most games now. We don't really have backup wingers at the moment. It's difficult him having to play week in, week out with Rodrigo Gomez. He doesn't look bad. It's just I don't know what the word is to describe how he's playing at the moment, but it just seems a little bit new to him. And I just think he needs a little bit of time to get into it and probably does need someone. We do need someone on the bench to, one, get him feeling competitive about his position. Same with Rodrigo Gomez. We need competition on the wings. I have no doubt that when Rafiki Saeed comes back, that'll help things. But I think obviously I know we've been linked with a couple of wingers. I do think it'd be really important that getting one of those in at our earliest convenience would be beneficial to the team, beneficial to Mane and to Gomez, just to give them that bit of competition. But I also think Mane physically needs a little bit more time to get into the season. It's his first senior full season. He only played half of last season in the Premier League. Championship's very different. It is a lot more physical. So just giving him that bit of time and giving him that competition, I just think will only excel, his development and his confidence. So other than that, I'm really happy today. It was nice to see Jordan James come on. I know only a brief cameo, but I'm sure he'll be back next week. We've got Sheffield Wednesday in the Cup, so I have no doubt he'll probably be starting that one just to give him some minutes. Be interesting to see who we start in the Cup as well, because as I say about Mane and Rodrigo Gomez, they're going to be playing a lot of football if we're not starting, at the moment, the likes of Torreira outright or something like that, just to give them that bit of a rest, because at the moment we're going to be running them out and they're just going to be knackered week in, week out. So be interesting to see who we start, what we do with that game. Obviously Tuesday, I believe that one is, so we'll go from there really. But as of today, no complaints from me. Really happy, great performance, and hopefully we can continue that on for the rest of the season really now. Definitely look more like a team that competitive in the Championship at the higher end compared to maybe what we look like towards the end of Blackburn. So happy days.
Right. Preston 0, Wolves 3. Going to be a quick one, recording this from a bathroom, but damn, feels good. Look like a team that should be the favourite to win the league, especially with West Ham. Didn't see the final result, but I assume they dropped some points. And yeah, I mean, just a great win. Also, Blackburn, I didn't see the final result, but I saw they took the lead against Middlesbrough as well, so other results going well for us. But yeah, it just looked like a different team from last week. Fer Lopez, need to find a way to keep him, obviously. Haven't really heard too much about transfer rumors with him, so I think we'll keep him. Thought the back line looked a lot better. I think a lot of that was Preston just having nothing to offer in the final third, but maybe Mosquera going down is a blessing in disguise. Tajiga seems to be a bit steadier, calmer at the back, which when you're playing with Toffee, you need that because he's pretty much guaranteed to do one stupid thing a game. Didn't today, fortunately, but yeah, just a good win overall. Still seems like we're kind of finding our way as far as what the team is going to look like, style of play going forward. Preston just had more of the ball first half, which was a little surprising. I do think we ended up with something like 55% possessions, dominated the ball for the most part of the second half. But yeah, everything's going to run through fair, obviously. Unetsi, you kind of saw how much of a liability he is again today. When he's not scoring, when he's not in the goals, he's just not providing anything. So I expect Jordan James will be taking that spot pretty damn quickly. And yeah, Tommy Doyle as well, I think, is going to be getting some more minutes. Looked a lot more in control when he came on. And yeah, Mane also grew into the game. A bit disappointing to start. Has had maybe a slow start to the season overall, but I think we started to see what he's capable of as the game went on. And switching him and Rodrigo on the left and right, I think that'll be something we see a lot of going forward. Mane, when he's out there on the left, all he wants to do is cut inside. So moving him over to the right kind of forces him to hold the width a little bit. And same for Rodrigo, playing him on the left actually forces him to cut inside a little bit. So yeah, I think that'll be interesting to see going forward. But overall, nothing to complain about. This is the type of performance that I'm hoping we see 30, 40 more times this season. And if all goes well, there's no reason we can't coast our way into the top two. Knock on wood. So on to next week, 4 points in 2, good start, and I'm happy.